Yeah, hi friends, welcome to the channel. In this video, I will be explaining Dataraptor Load and more importantly, these two checkboxes, upsert key and is required for upsert. Yeah, let's get started. So in the interest of time, I already created one Dataraptor Load student subject. In my org, I'm having student subject. It is having name, roll number. Currently, this subject is not having any records. So here I used interface type will be load. Go to fields. So I should provide input in this format, ID, name, roll number, same input I'm mapping to ID field, name field and roll number field. Let us assume now. So just insert one record here. So my student name will be student 1 and roll number will be 100. Now execute. One record got inserted here. So I will create one more record student 2, 200, execute. So it's inserted one more record here. Now in the previous two operations, I didn't specify ID. Now let's specify ID, any one of the existing ID. This is the ID. Now I will specify 300. Currently we are having two records here. Now if you are not specifying ID, if I am not specifying ID, at that time it will insert record. If I specified ID, what it will do is instead of insertion, it will look in this object. If it finds any record with the specified record ID, then it will update those records. That means this ID field by default, ID field is upsert key. By default, it is acting as unique key. Let us assume it is acting as unique key. Now instead of insertion, it should do update. One student, total we have two records. Here, second record now it is updated this record details. Student 3, roll number with 100. Now the default behavior of Dataraptor Load is if for passing ID field, then it will take this ID field for updation. If any existing records are existed with this ID, it will update. Otherwise, simply it will insert. So go to fields. By default, this will act as unique key. So by default, you can check this one also, upsert key. For updation, it will look this. For updation, this field should be matched. This is the meaning of this one. For insertion, anyhow, ID will be generated, right? After record got inserted, ID will be generated. For insertion, you cannot specify whatever ID you want. So in this case, if you check this one, it will act as for updation. If this ID is already existed, then it will consider this ID for updation. Yeah, currently ID behavior is like this. Fields options preview. Yeah, now I will not provide ID. Even though you are providing ID, it will not consider. ID field is only readable. You cannot write. So student 3 currently how many? Student 3. Now I will insert student 2 record. Student 2, 200. Execute. Now it's inserted one more record here. 100, 200, 300. Now currently it is working for both insertion and updation. Now my requirement is I want to make sure this Dataraptor load updates a record instead of insertion. Currently what is happening, if I pass record ID, it is updating. If I'm not passing record ID, then it is inserting. Now I want to prevent that one. Let us assume Now I want to instructor this Dataraptor load should only update a record. Currently 3 is the rate. Let's create 4, 4, 400. So my requirement here is this Dataraptor load should always update a record. Now for that one, what is the configuration here is go to ID. If you want to always update a record, that means ID should be, you need to pass already existing ID. So at that time you need to check this checkbox. Sometimes it is not working. If it is not working, just refresh. Go to fields, go to ID. Now check this checkbox. Is required for upsert. What is the meaning of this one? This field, this ID field is required for insertion as well as updation. This is the meaning of checking this checkbox. Yeah. Now it is required for updation. Now, now here I didn't specify ID. Now, but I instructed this ID field is required for both insertion updation. Now, in this case, you shouldn't insert or update any record. Let's execute. See here, nothing got happened. It's not inserted and also it's not updated. Currently we have 3 records. Execute. Yeah, currently we have 3 records. It's not inserted. Okay. If this is your requirement, if you want to make sure your Dataraptor load always update a record, then come here in the fields section. For ID field, check this checkbox. Is required for upsert. Now it will always work for updation. For updation, we need ID always, right? Take this ID. Now ID I specified this ID. For this ID, now it will update record. Currently this ID name is student2 200. Now we'll update to 5 500. 5 500. Let's execute. See, now it's updated. Currently this now updated this record. Now student 5 500 it should come. Total records 3 only, but this record got updated now. Total records 3. This record got updated. Yeah. So this is the significance of this one is required for upsert. If you check this checkbox, then it is always required for insertion as well as updation. If you check this checkbox, then for updation, it will consider this field value for uniqueness. For updation, it will take this ID value and it will look here. If any record matches, then it will take that record for updation. So upsert key is required for upsert. So currently in Salesforce, how updation will happen is based on the ID field. If this ID is matches, it will update. But I want to instruct Dataraptor load, consider name field for updation. Otherwise, consider roll number field for updation. Don't consider this one. What do you mean by that is, let us assume I want to update. I want to update student where roll number equal to 500. Now, if I specify roll number equal to 500, so currently ID will be act as upsert key. I don't want ID to be act as upsert key. Instead, I want roll number should be update act as upsert key. What we mean by that is, if I found any roll number with already existing records, then it should update that record. Now, I don't want this ID field to be upsert key. I don't want this is required for either insert or upsert. Now, I want roll number field should be act as upsert. Yeah, upsert. Now see here. Now I instructed Dataraptor load. Consider this field for upsertion. Now let us assume this student 1 roll number is 100. Go to preview. Now I will pass 100 here. Now I will not pass ID field. Now instructor roll number should be act as upsert key. That means if any record matches with this roll number value, then it will update. So currently roll number 100 name is student 1. Let's update with student 5. Yeah, execute. See here how many records we are having currently. It should be 3 only. After insertion also should be 3. See here. Now this Dataraptor load using roll number for updation. See for 100 roll number, it is updated name as student 5. For 100, it is updated name as student 5. So this is the way you can instruct your Dataraptor load. Any other field, any ID other than ID field, you can instruct that field for unique field, uniqueness, upsert key. If you check this, what will happen? Now let's refresh. This is upsert key. Already roll number is acting as a unique key now. If I check this one, what is the meaning of this one? Then it will act always, this Dataraptor load always act as updation. So this is unique field and also it is required for updation or insertion. So currently previously, this is the previous configuration, right? With this configuration, see what will happen. If roll number matches, it will update, otherwise it will insert. Let's see that one. Preview. Currently there is no student with roll number 1000. In this case, it should insert 1000. Execute. Inserted. Total record should be 4 now. Student 1000. Now it is acting roll number as updation. What do you mean by this is, if I pass roll number that is already existing, it will update, otherwise it will insert. Now I want to instruct roll number should be act as a unique key and also it always required for updation. In this case, you can check this checkbox also. Fields, roll number, check this checkbox. Now it will act as this Dataraptor load will act, it will only work for updation. It will not work for insertion because this field is required always. Now go here, preview. Let us assume I will not supply any roll number, but a instructor roll number should be always required, either insertion or updation, and the same roll number is acting as unique key. Now it will not do anything here. Here nothing is happened. We have only 4 records. Yeah, this is the significance of these two fields. By default, ID field will act as upsert key. But if you want any other than ID field act as upsert key, you can come here that field and check this checkbox upsert key. And if you check this checkbox, then this field, this roll number is always required for insertion as well as updation. Yeah. And also not only single field, you can consider multi-field for updation. Let us assume currently it is acting as upsert key. Now I want to update a record whenever both name and roll number should matches, multi-record upsertion. At that time, for name also, you can Refresh this one. Fields. You can check name also. upsertKey. So with this configuration, what what will happen for updation? Now I'm updating a record by combining both name and roll number. Roll number. Let's see now. Both name and roll number. If both name and roll number matches. No, inside in this for this scenario, I need some other field also. If these two matches, then only I want to update some other field. In that scenario, you can configure multiple fields for abstraction like this. Yeah. So in short, if you check this checkbox, then that field will be act for updation. If you check this checkbox, then this field is required for both insertion as well as updation. Yeah, I hope something you got from this video. Thanks for watching.